Lonzo Williams gave him very little, if any, of the 100,000 grand he got from CBS Records, explaining that he was the leader of the group. And Dr. Dre didn't understand what the expenditure running a group like that entailed. Lonzo Williams would loan Dr. Dre money. Lonzo let Dr. Dre drive one of his old cars, so he'd have a way to get...
Stop. Let Dr. Dre drive one of my old cars. Let me tell you something about Lonzo. Lonzo been a car enthusiast since he was 15 years old. No bullshit. I've owned over 75 cars personally. I never owned a car lot. I have bought, sold, and traded 75 cars in my life, over 75 cars in my life. I got 2 cars right now. All my cars are in great shape. I take care of my cars. I like cars. I was buying my BMW. I hadn't bought it yet. I bought it from overseas. Dre was on my ass to buy the RX-7. I don't like selling cars to my friends. When I sell a car, I don't want to see it no more. I don't want to see it get destroyed. I don't see what I missed. I don't want to see it no more. That's just how I am. 2 cars that I sold against my better judgment to 2 people that were close to me was my brother and Dr. Dre. I sold my brother my BMW, my 635, and I bought a 300ZX. He tore it up. Ran it in the ground. It was his though. I couldn't say shit. But again, it's like seeing somebody that you care about just go to hell in a handbasket. And pretty much the same thing happened with this RX-7. You know, it was going up and down the street, getting tickets, blah, blah, blah. But push the button, man, and listen to this bullshit that's about to come up in just a few minutes. Go ahead, Dusty.
Lonzo let Dr. Dre drive one of his old cars, so he'd have a way to get around. Dre would get tickets driving Lonzo's car and wouldn't pay them. Eventually, L.A. would put a warrant out for Dre's arrest. He'd get pulled over again, and he'd have to go to jail. And the story goes, he'd call Lonzo to bail him out, which I'm sure was a difficult phone call to make, having to explain to someone that you've run up $900 in 1986, money in speeding tickets while driving their car, and now you need them to come down to the police station, a place that's filled with MFN cops, and post bail. Lonzo would have just let him sit there, except he needed Dr. Dre to play concerts and produce songs for world-class wrecking crew. Bail money would just have to come.
I'm a slave driver. I'm just a fucking slave driver. First of all, back in the day, a warrant wasn't but $166. That's all. A warrant was $166. Now, at this time, when that shit was going down, that was a lot of money for all of us because we all was pretty much financially dry. Jerry curls was dry. Beepers were getting turned off left and right. Shit was not going very well for us. And I got him out twice. Damn near about 3 or 4 weeks apart. And this is something I told him, and I say this all the time to anybody, even all my sons. Like my dad told me, I'm going to get you out the first time because everybody's going to make that mistake in most cases. Second time, you might didn't figure it out, but I'm going to come get you again. Third time, nigga, you got a bad habit going. You need to figure this out for yourself. And that's pretty much what it was. It wasn't no $900-something worth of tickets. It was only like 166. And like one thing he did say, we didn't have nowhere to go. We didn't have nowhere to go. So you spend the weekend in there, you be out Monday. And that wasn't the case. Go ahead.
To play concerts and produce songs for world-class wrecking crew. Bail money would just have to come out of the money he wasn't paying Dre anyway. Following that incident, Lonzo set up a makeshift recording studio in the back of Eve After Dark and actually charged Dre to work.
I ain't never had a studio at Eve After Dark, and I ain't never charged his ass for no studio time. Never. Dre gave away more studio time. I couldn't even make no money on the studio half the time because he was giving it away. That's how me and Eazy got into it half the time because although you got Dre out of jail, Lonzo didn't go to jail. So therefore, when you push record, you owe me money. Okay, I don't mind you making beats, use my keyboard, drum machines, but when that machine starts running, that shit has to be monitored, it has to be repaired, it has to be serviced. Every time that shit, you put an hour on that machine, at some point in time, it's going to cause it to be serviced. I got to get paid for it. Go ahead.
Lonzo set up a makeshift recording studio in the back of Eve After Dark and actually charged Dre to work there, if you can imagine.
Yeah.
This was where Dre and Michel'le perfected the production techniques they'd later use on albums like Straight Outta Compton and N.W.A. Life, so it wasn't a complete loss. But the idea of paying someone an hourly rate to use his studio to work on songs for his album, for which you wouldn't receive royalties, is absurd.
That's
really absurd.
See, this is the kind of shit that just paints me as being some kind of fucking tyrant. I'm gonna charge you studio time for albums that you making for me? Are you out of your fucking mind? That don't even make no damn sense. We were in this as a collective. Everybody had their own, everybody had their roles. I bought all the shit. They did the beats. We all made money together. Now, if I bought houses with my money and y'all spent your money on other shit, that's not my problem. Everybody grown too. Everybody over 18. Everybody's over 21 by this time. So, well, damn near. So it's my responsibilities are limited. I can coach and I can mentor, but if you don't listen, that ain't on me. Go ahead.
Eventually, someone stole Lonzo's car that Dr. Dre was driving, went for a joyride in it, and probably used it either to K a hooker or to knock over a convenience store. Police found it abandoned somewhere and placed it in an impound. Dr. Dre was then picked up on another warrant. When Lonzo found out that his car was in a tow lot somewhere, possibly with blood in the trunk, he didn't want to post bail for Dr. There must not have been another world-class Wreckin' Crew tour coming up anytime soon.
Stop.
That kind of music was...
These disses in AI, though, sound a little extra harsh, dog. Like, what the fuck? I've never been dissed by AI.
This motherfucker got attitude. This is an AI with attitude. God damn. I mean, here's you think this motherfucker was human. This is the part that make it sound so convincing. First of all, the car was not stolen. I ain't never had no car. The RX-7 was not stolen. The motherfucker got repossessed. Okay, they came and got it because folks stopped paying. I paid all the car notes I could pay. I had my own car note. I had my own house note. I couldn't pay it no more. Car got repossessed, and it wasn't until they got paid